Hello and welcome to today's episode of SOS Creativity TV and FM. On today's episode, we're going to be covering 3 points to keep you ahead of your competitors. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, by the way, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube as well. So let's jump straight into the show and cover those 3 points. Irrespective of whatever business you find yourself, chances are you have competitors and you have a lot of them. Unless you're in a unicorn business, and even then you probably have competitors from different sectors, different verticals, fighting for the same customer base. So with that in mind, on today's video we're going to be looking at 3 important points to making sure you stay ahead of your competitors. And the very first point we're going to be covering today is to know your customers and look after them. So let me expand a little bit on that. Before you can keep ahead of your competitors, it's important to really figure out who the perfect customer is. Because think about it, you're all fighting for the same customer base. You're all fighting for the same audience. You have a product or service that adds value to a particular audience, which all your competitors are also competing for. With that in mind, if you can be the best brand, the best company that figures out the audience and figures out your competitors, that's probably the best way to stay ahead of your competitors. So if you know your customers' likes, you know your customers' dislikes, you know the challenges they're facing, you know what their goals are, you know their demographics, you know their psychographs, you know in full details every aspect of the perfect customer's life, you're able to cater for them, you're able to add enormous amount of value to them, which then helps you win because you know your audience the best. You're staying ahead of your competitors. The second point we're going to be looking at is to have a plan for growth. If you want to stay ahead of your competitors, you need to continue growing. That means you need to have growth plans, growth aspirations. What do you need from a cash flow perspective? What do you need from a headcount perspective? What do you need from a partnership perspective, from a complementary products and services? What are your growth plans? Because when you stop growing, you start sliding backwards. Some people think you can actually stay at the same level, but if you feel like you're at the same level, you're already starting to fall backwards because things are continually changing. The marketplace is always changing and adapting and evolving. You need to have a growth plan in place to keep you ahead of your competitors. And lastly, you need to know your competitors. So it goes without saying, if you want to be ahead of your competitors, well, you need to know what you're trying to get ahead of. Who are the 10 to 5 to 50 companies that are competing within the same space as you? You need to do things called like a SWOT analysis, for example. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What are the opportunities and what are the threats? So when you figure out who your competitors are and you know those key points, what they're great at that you could look to introduce into your business, for example, what they're not so good at that you could look to refine in your business to give you that competitive edge. When you understand your competitors, then you're able to stay ahead of them. And make sure to not directly copy your competitors, but understand what they're doing so you can adjust and adapt your plan to keep you ahead of them. I would love to hear your comments in the comment section below. What questions do you have? Who is one of your competitors and what kind of activities have you done to stay ahead of them? Leave some comments in the comment section and I will get back to you. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to like this video and be sure to join the notification squad after sending this video to someone who will find it valuable. Till next week, my name is Steven from SOS Creativity. Bye for now.